So I want to introduce Fraser. So Fraser Scott is a Chancellor's Fellow here at Strathclyde. You began your adventures in education as a Strathclyde student, and then latterly went through teacher training and taught in a number of schools, a school for a number of years, before returning to higher education. And it's more than one. And you currently sit on the chair of the Education Division Scotland, sit on the board of the Education Division Scotland, and have been doing some work around this meeting and with teachers in the past. Now Fraser also still maintains a very active interest in school teaching and education, writes regularly in the magazine Education and Chemistry, and conducts and publishes education research, kind of with a focus to school and the school to university transition. So over to you, Fraser.
Thank you, Patrick. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a sort of a brief whistle-stop tour, if you like, of the most recent survey that the Education Division Scotland has carried out. So I will be brief. First of all, just to tell you a little bit about the Education Division Scotland, because you may not be aware of us. So we are one of two regional groups within the RSE's Education Division. There used to be a lot more regional groups. There was many regional groups throughout England and Wales. They've now all amalgamated into just one regional group. And there's two remaining. There's us, the Scottish regional group, and there's also the Irish regional group as well. So I've got a quote there that just sort of describes what we intend to do. So rather than read it, I'll just let you read it for 20 seconds or so. So essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to support chemistry education in Scotland through any means that we can. We are a very small group, so we are quite focused in what we do. If you have heard of us, then you might have heard of us through one of two mechanisms that we're involved with school teachers. So we have the Inspiring Young Chemists Award, which is the award that we do once a year to fund projects at either primary school or secondary school that inspire young chemists into continuing their studies in chemistry. We're also involved with the Craig Gray Memorial Prize for the best SQA Advanced Higher Investigation. However, what we also do is we try to represent you as best as we can. So if we feel as though there's some issues in education, we try to collect evidence so that we can present that to normally parliamentary bodies, so that there's evidence flowing into their committees, etc. So, for example, we did a survey in 2016 which was kind of focused on subject choices. Very recently that has now been cited within the Scottish Parliament Education and Skills Committee as part of their subject choices inquiry. So what we do does have impact, it does have benefit. We are trying to represent you as best as we can. So what I'm just going to tell you about is our 2019 survey, which many of you probably participated in. That was focused on multi-level teaching and a little bit to do with assessment as well. What I will say just now is, although I've used the terminology multi-level teaching here, multi-course teaching is probably a more appropriate term, although the language multi-level teaching was used in the survey, so I've stuck with that for the moment. So we had 224 individual teachers responding to the survey. That was about 160 different schools represented, so we've got quite good coverage there. All I'm going to do now is just give you some snippets of the information. The full report will be disseminated fairly soon. These are just some highlights. So first of all, we were interested in the bi-level teaching focusing on National 4, National 5. We asked you what your experience with that was, and what we found was that 63% of you had a bi-level class at National 4, National 5, 28% of you might not have had one now, but you had one in the past, and 9% had no experience of this. We drilled in a little further. We asked you what your perception of the difficulty of teaching this subject would be at this bi-level interface, and the vast majority of you thought this would be very difficult or difficult. That is not necessarily surprising. However, I will try to refrain from further commentary on the data, because it may get angry. Anyway, we then looked at National 5 higher bi-level classes, same question, what was your experience? We've only got 17% here of people recognising that they have a bi-level class there, 23% who have had a bi-level class in the past. And again, we asked you about the difficulty in maintaining this, and clearly 97% of you thought this was either difficult or very difficult. Again, no surprises there. So we also focused on a couple of other questions, some other buzz that was about the teaching community. So you'll probably be, or I hope you know, that the requirement for mandatory unit assessments is no longer there. And this was largely to do with, or the thinking behind this was that it would reduce teacher workload. Well, that's certainly the language that was used in the media and from the government. We asked you what your views on the impact of that decision was, and for the most part, you're sort of bang in the middle. It's not really affected you in terms of your workload. We also asked about National 4 and the fact that it is a internally assessed award only. So we asked you how appropriate do you think that the National 4 assessment is, and maybe not quite as stark as some of the previous ones, but we're tending here towards it's inappropriate. We then drilled it slightly further here and asked you if you would be in support of the introduction of an external assessment at National 4, and the vast majority of you were in favour of this. That's a quick summary of some of the data. What I will say is that there's this data doesn't really exist anywhere else bar this survey, as far as we're aware, so this is quite impactful from that point of view. What we're going to try and do now is both encourage other learned societies to do the same thing within the science context, because we believe this is much of this is a science specific issue rather than an issue to all the subjects in high school. But we're also going to be using this data to bring up with government officials as well. So we will be pushing this on your behalf. I'll leave you with one slide. This is just sort of summarising all the data. So collectively we got data for 685 different chemistry classes throughout Scotland. 43% of those were multi-level. To me that's quite high. This is the data split by each individual level. So if you look at the students who are being recognised as being National 3 students, 90% of those are in a multi-level class. If you look at the students who are have been identified as National 4 students, 93% of them are in a multi-level class. National 5 students, 66% of them are in a multi-level class. For me, the thing that was actually most surprising was the bottom two, probably higher students. About a quarter of higher students are in a multi-level class. That was surprising to me. And similarly, 10% of advanced higher students are in a multi-level class. So these are just sort of top line summary figures from this. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what we've been doing, what the data is saying, and I've kind of told you already that we're hoping to try and affect some sort of change with this data. I can take a question.
Yeah,
a couple of questions before finishing.
I think we've got time for one or two quick questions, because some like stark figures there.
Yes.
But
if you don't have any questions, that's absolutely fine. You can grab me if I'm wondering about it at some point as well. So our plan really is to try and get this information to parliamentary officials so that they can inform their decision-making processes in Parliament. We have already done that with a previous survey, I mean, the question is, will it actually change anything? I'm not entirely sure, but all we can do is provide this evidence to support things that people are saying, because, like I say, this data doesn't really exist anywhere else, so if anyone has any of these arguments, there's no data to support anything that they're saying. So we see this really as a first step, for us to try and sort of get this evidence base to support what teachers appear to be saying, but no one's necessarily listening to, because there's no evidence of that. And we had that question earlier in the first, not here in the first presentation this morning. No, and that's largely because we can't, well, it would require us to get quite a lot of ethical approval to drill down and get students' results and things, whereas at this level we can collect data. That's definitely a worthwhile thing to look at, because that would give us even more that we have that get us into government officials. So we will be presenting the data to them, but we'll also be working closer with central RSC with this data for them to get more data to support it. So we go to the Ross City Biology, Ross City Institute of Physics, and the other bodies. If we can use this data to convince them to do similar studies, then it gives us a bit more. Potentially, yes. Although we've not, I mean, there's actually maybe a deeper analysis to be done in terms of split between independent and state, and also regions as well. But we're holding off on doing that level of analysis just now. We think these are impactful enough to get that.
So it's really, really good.
That's actually really nice to hear, and actually if anyone else feels as though they have been able to use data like this and have impact within their own setting, I would quite like to know about that, because I can then record that as potential impacts from this. So my email address might be available somewhere. You can certainly, if you search my name, my email address is on the Strathclyde website. I would really like to hear any stories you have about that's something that we've heard quite often. Yeah, because some of these things aren't so much. I mean, I'm quite far out of high school teaching. I was there when Nat 5 was first introduced and higher was first introduced. But my understanding is some of the more social subjects are, the content between these courses is a bit more similar, and it's the assessments that are different. Whereas in the science subjects, the content is completely different, and so it is different courses. But I don't think people are. I think the key people are not recognising that. Okay, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. You'll see me about. If you get any questions, just come and approach me. Thank you.
Thank you.